And with that, I believe it is time to take us around the world. We have the ever so lovely LaurieDBunnykins. That's a yo-yoing joke in case you missed it. Running Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, one of the newest and freshest indie games around the block, but it's gonna be a great time. Laurie, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited for this run, because yeah, this game is brand new, but it is firmly etched in my heart already. I'm so excited for this. Hi everybody, my name is LaurieDBunnykins. Welcome to Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. If you don't know anything about this game, you're about to learn. If you think 2025 has been a bad year for new releases, it's because you haven't played this yet. This game is incredible, and I'm so excited to show it off. Before I start, I'm going to talk about what I'm actually doing, because that seems good. So this is New Game Plus No Zips, which means that I'm going to be playing a New Game Plus, which gives me all of the yo-yo abilities and like special moves and all of the badges. And upgrades can be acquired out of order, something that will come up pretty early, or somewhat early into the run. But the big thing I wanted to explain before I start was one of the badges that we will be starting with immediately. There are about, I think it's 6 or 7 badges in this game known as the cheater badges that are usually like really hidden, but they break the game. And one of the first things I'm going to be doing in this run is using the teleport badge, which is if I throw the yo-yo, I can teleport to it. I want to explain that now because as soon as I start the run, it's going to near instantly be used. And speaking of starting the run, I'm good to do that now. So am I good for a countdown?
Yeah, take us right into it. I'm super excited.
All right, we're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So this game, auto skip cutscene, and we're gonna get right into this opening. So usually as soon as I get out of this car, there is a cutscene trigger that stops me from leaving until I enter this mansion, and then a cutscene trigger that stops me from leaving this mansion. However, with the teleport, I'm just going to leave the mansion anyways. And that's going to let me skip the entire like 4-minute intro section of the game. So now
we just started. Slow down, please.
Yeah. So I'm now going to switch my cheater's teleport badge out for the cheater's train badge, which just makes all of my movement faster. So that's cool. And we're gonna get kind of going into the overworld. So this game's overworld is split into 2 segments of 2. Usually you have you get put in South Plaza first, and you can do the 2 batteries in South Plaza in either order, and then you get invited to go to North Plaza. But because of that intro skip, and me opening gates for later, and me buying that these like fast travel points, I have access to the whole map pretty much already, which I would already because I'm on New Game Plus, but like even like more than usual, I have access to everything already. So it's just a matter of what's good to do first across all 4 batteries. Because I can technically go to the final boss area, but the game does actually check that I have all 4 mega batteries, which are like the Triforce shards or whatever you want to call them of this game. Pretty much in the opening cutscene, or in the opening level that I skipped, our aunt's soul gets split into those 4 batteries, but we try to intercept the like laser doing that with our yo-yo, and part of her soul gets sucked into the yo-yo, which is why it's cursed. But we need to go to the 4 like main districts and get those batteries back so we can put her soul back together. And
honestly, I kind of just thought the yo-yo was like a dog, which felt appropriate.
The move I'm using is called Walk the Dog, and
see, exactly.
It's really good for movement just because it's faster. But you can only do it in a straight line. There is a cheater badge that lets you like redirect direction with it, but we don't have a lot of BP in this run. We don't start with BP upgrades in New Game Plus. You still have to collect those manually. So it's just usually better to have the train badge on. A lot of the cheater badges are pretty expensive. But there will be a way we work around that later, which I'll talk a little bit about. But the first district we decide to go to in this route is the Galeneros district, because the dungeon here is this like stadium, this like sports stadium that we have to get into. However, the only seating available in the stadium is the like fan club seating. So we need to go around the area and get 5 fan club members because that is the minimum requirement to join a fan club. We technically have 10 members we can get, so there's a little bit more routing than it seems, because we only need 5 to actually enter the dungeon. But the reason this area is so good to do early is because after the first fan we get, every fan we add to our club gives $350, and that is going to be really good for the money routing of this game and like getting everything situated. So that's the last fan there, so I'm going to make my way down here, and we're just going to ride all the way to the stadium, and that's going to be us entering the first dungeon of the game here. And this dungeon is wild. The first thing I do in it is bet on a sports game. We're gonna put $1,000 on ourselves to win. Don't gamble, please.
Use that money for a better cause, like donating to Trainer Inade's mutual aid fund. Thoughts?
Yes! I agree. So now we're gonna do a trick called teleport warping. I just hit that one first try. Pretty much, I put the teleport badge back on in the safe room, and then what I'm going to do here is throw the off-string yo-yo and then use the teleport badge to teleport to it at the same time I screen transition. And if I do it correctly, which it's pretty tricky here, as you can see, it's taking me a few tries, but the goal is that I will teleport into the new screen with the coordinates I teleported to on the screen before. So I can use that to skip some keys, grab this battery early, which takes me to the top part of this dungeon, and then after 2 more screens here, we're going to try and skip straight to the boss fight. I'm also going to try and use a trick in this room that is kind of hard, called yo-yo jumping, where because of an ability called the wall dash, I have to do it with the off-string yo-yo, but I am going to hit a wall and then jump in midair, like that. Just to get over to this area quicker, and then I'm going to try and do 2 more teleport. I'm gonna die here. Unfortunately, dying costs money, so I don't want to die, but the money route isn't in danger if I die once. But I'm gonna go for a teleport warp here, and then go for a teleport warp on this wall. And if I do it correctly, it will put me straight into the boss fight of the dungeon. There we go. Yep, just like that. And we're at our first boss. This boss is football. We have to score 3 goals against this football team. So the goal here is going to just be to throw the yo-yo and then teleport to it, and then grab the ball and keep doing that. So I have to get 3 points. So while I'm doing that, if you have any announcements you need to make, Shovel, now is a great time.
Yeah, hey, I love me a good football match, so I'm excited. Real fast, I just want to talk about some of what your money is going towards, because the cost of a service animal is quite drastic. The average cost for training a service animal is estimated anywhere between $10,000 and $80,000, so a lot, and that can be quite the expense. It costs $8 for 1 bag of training treats, and we're going to be using a lot of those to train a service dog. $25 cover 2 adult dog shoes, which is really important to protect the dog's little feet. $60 covers about a month's worth of his food. $295 will cover a neurologist consultation, and $390 covers 4 of the dog's service dog specific training courses that he'll start once he's 6 months old. So a lot of what your money is going to is tangible and directly helps Inade with this quite drastic undertaking. So thank you so much for all of your donations so far, and let's meet that glitch exhibition. Laurie, if there was one incentive that you would want to meet, which one would it be?
My own glitch exhibition, yeah. So, catching up a little bit, yeah, we just finished playing football, and at the start of the run, I didn't talk about that I met one of our cousins, and he went into our safe house as part of our upgrade system. When we get the first battery, we can also get the other cousin that gives us upgrade, and she's a bit more important. So what we can do is buy upgrades from her, but instead of just buying the upgrade, she puts us in debt, where we have to get the money to pay it off. That's new money. We can't just use the money we already have. So I get this upgrade that reduces my max HP by 1, but raises my attack by 1, and then collect my gambling payout while it's active, and it just pays it off instantly. And I can also put myself in another contract that gives me 2 BP while lowering my attack by 1. So basically, we don't have the negative effect of the attack loss now. And I have 2 more BP. I also upgraded there. I'll explain it in a second. Let me do this wall flip first. I did it wrong there, but I'm going to teleport to the yo-yo here and then cling onto the wall here. And if I do it correctly, I got a little bit of, there we go. Pretty much I'm clipped between that NPC and the wall, and I can use it to clip through the wall above and get into this like side dungeon. The main structure of this game is you usually have to go into a side dungeon to enter the main dungeon, but the first area we went to doesn't have one, and we're gonna skip the other 2. So we do have to get our slime ID here in order to enter the main dungeon. The loading zone isn't there, I believe, until you get it. But what else I did with the upgrades is I also used Cousin Pippo, who can upgrade your badges. And I upgraded the train badge so that it costs 1 less BP, and now it only costs 3 instead of 4. And I upgraded the demon badge, which sets my max HP to 2, but raises my attack by 5, which 5 is the base attack, so my attack is basically doubled. And because of those 2 upgrades and the 2 BP upgrade I got from the other cousin, I can now have both the train badge and the demon badge equipped at the same time, which just saves a lot of time because it means I don't have to like go into a safe house to change my layout between movement and attacking. So coming up is the slime excavation site, the second main dungeon. I'm going to skip a fair chunk of it with this wall ride, and then make my way. I'm gonna grab this money as safety because I do still have a few more things I need to pay through at the run, but I should be good for the rest of it. And then here I'm going for another wall ride where I'm trying to like curve myself, and yeah, I died to fall damage. It's fine. There's a checkpoint right here, I believe. Yep. But I'm trying to curve myself to cling onto this wall, just like that, and ride around the side of this dungeon here. And that skips those like 2 wall rides I did skip a pretty major chunk of the dungeon. So now I'm just working my way through the dungeon, which gives me a good moment to talk about something I brought up we have at the beginning of the run, but haven't used yet. And those are the game's special moves. On top of the abilities, there is a Y button move and like a hold the attack button to charge move. And the Y button move doesn't get much use. Right now, I think parry is technically considered optimal in some cases, but I opt to use Around the World, which is you just like spin your yo-yo and it doesn't really do damage, but it stuns. But heading into the boss, it's really important to talk about the charge move I have, the flurry attack, which just charges up like a short range burst of like yo-yo punches. And combining that with the demon badge here, you can see I'm gonna start melting this boss rather fast. Usually this boss will either just start jumping around instantly or do an attack before jumping around. And if they opt to do an attack that isn't jumping around instantly, as you saw on that last cycle, you just kind of decimate them. So that boss is not really hard, and especially with the demon badge. You can see how quick we're gonna be making work of some of this game's bosses, and that is our second Mega Battery. That is one of the most intensive parts of the run, for sure. There is a lot happening. The Galaderos district is kind of like this weird anomaly where, like, weirdly enough, I feel like every section in this game in Zipless has its own, like, piece of tech that is just really funny that we focus on. And this next portion, I mean, there is a tech I use to skip a chunk of a dungeon, but the way we're skipping another chunk of the dungeon is not actually through like a weird tech. It's actually just through a mechanic of this game. Keys in this game, as you can see, this room is like a puzzle room with a key and a locked collectible. But I'm not going to pick up the collectible. I'm just going to take the key and walk out. And this game is designed with like a open world like sequence break like this in mind, where keys are not universal. If I have a key, I can use it anywhere I can bring it. So I'm going to hold this key with me and thanks to the layout of this upcoming area, I have to do literally nothing. I can just make sure I don't get hit by traffic and walk the dog over that pond to make my way into the third main dungeon here. And usually this dungeon's layout has 4 keyholes to gain access to the second part of the dungeon. But because of the keys I collected in the slime district, I had 1 I was holding when I entered the dungeon, and I have 2 already stored in my safe house. So I can just kind of like go into the safe house, grab my keys, and not use the intended dungeon keys for this dungeon because they're slow to grab, except for this one, which you can. This is usually where you unlock walk the dog in the base game. So like that puddle is actually a whole thing, but in New Game Plus we already have walk the dog, so we just go.
Game design's so cool.
Yeah, no, this game was designed like so smart. I love it. But we have a funny little trick coming up right now, so I'm going to unequip my badges to re-equip teleport here, and I'm going to be doing a teleport clip. So I'm going to line up a certain part of the wall here, or the floor here, and throw my yo-yo through that like little corner, and then teleport to it, and it skips like half the dungeon. And I also do a little teleport throw there to skip the fight trigger in that room, so I don't have to do the fight. These cheater badges are strong. Like,
it turns out cheating is a pretty strong tool.
Cheating is a pretty strong tool. There is a note on I think all of them that says like, hey, this is gonna break the game if you use it. Like, be careful.
They thought of us. How wonderful.
They thought of us. I mean, they definitely did thought of us. This game like came out already. Like the demo had an auto skip cutscene option and an in-game timer. Like, they definitely thought of us. And I mean, there were interviews before the game came out. Again, they were like, I want to see how smart speedrunners can get with this game, and oh boy, have we. So we're heading to the third boss here. We just have this escape sequence. I'm going to just ride the wall on this one. I do, since I'm only at 2 hearts, have to hop off to get that health, but it is fine, and that's not hard. And now we're gonna head into the third boss. This is the boss that we've had the most time with because this was the boss fight that was available in the demo. This is Don Moretti. He's kind of annoying, but usually fine. So he likes guns. He likes shooting. His arena is full of all of these like corners and angles that he likes to shoot his bullets off of. And then every phase, he'll get a new gun introduced. The shotgun, he just kind of stands there. So that's good because that means we can do flurry on him. Flurry is much better DPS than like just standing there and mashing the attack button, but it's mainly if you can actually get most of the hits on the flurry off because of the charge time. So you are hoping he actually stands there and stays firing for a while instead of just like, you know, instead of jumping and running all over the place. That was a very good fight. That is pretty much what I'm hoping for every time I do that fight.
Brought a yo-yo to a gunfight and won.
Yeah.
Just that good.
So yeah, that's Mega Battery 3. We just have 1 more to get, and then we can head to the final part of the game. This one's going pretty well. The last battery is you'll see how it goes. Let's just say...
Yeah, well, now I'm nervous.
Let's just say, I would say it's usually like the hardest and maybe longest dungeon in the game. Yeah.
I'm getting the idea that it's going to be pretty short and easy.
So we're going to go back to the North Plaza, enter the Fodlands neighborhood. Pretty much the idea here is that they're hosting like a forever, like, I guess Comic-Con, just convention in general. We usually need to go get a ticket, otherwise this guy will stop us from entering the loading zone, but we can just teleport past the cutscene where he stops us. And then, this is the main stage area, and there's this little cutscene here, but we can teleport past the bodyguard that stops us from going on stage. I am going to try and avoid the trigger that starts the boss fight here, so that I can go to the safe house and re-equip my my demon badge so I can actually do my damage. But Yeah, no, we just teleported past literally everything. Hey, this is the boss fight. So this is Lincoln, and he is probably, I don't know if necessarily the hardest, but definitely the most annoying boss in this run, I'd say, because he jumps all over the place. If you manage to get a good flurry hit like on him, he can stay in place for a while, but yeah, no, he jumps around a lot, so it can be hard to track him down. And in phases 2 and 3, Toxie comes out to act as a shield for him, where you have to hit her to get her, like, to stop shielding him. So, if you want to say any messages you may have while I focus, the boss fight is already done, but you still have time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. We got $10 from Van. Just kidding, Vane. Oh, dude, I love The Legend of Zelda. I don't think I remember this one, though. Good luck yoing your yo, Laurie. Always fun to watch you go fast on all of the games you play. And, of course, am excited for more Jungle Beat later.
Yay! I'm so excited for Jungle Beat.
That run's gonna be so fun.
Alright, so we are on our way out of this dungeon and back to the mansion that we started the game to finish it. That's where, because we have to go, like, find our aunt's machine to, we have to go find our aunt's machine to, like, put the batteries back in and, you know, get her soul back. So, fun fact, the trigger for turning, like, the mansion into, like, the end game state of the mansion is just entering the safe house for the first time, because that's what you'd usually do at the end of the standard tutorial. So, like, it's like impossible to, like, not, it's impossible to mess that up, pretty much. Because you get sent to the safe house after every boss fight. But this area isn't too bad, except there is this one fight room. I'm gonna, like, try and damage boost to get 2 at once with the same flurry, just like that, and then miss my next flurry, but it's fine. But this fight is not that bad. And then we're gonna get into the second part of the dungeon here. Oh yeah, that healed enemy on the left is supposed to shield the baseball player I fought, but if you're too far away from them when they spawn, they just don't realize you're there. So that's cool. It means you don't have to, like, go back and forth in that fight. You can just go right to left, like, where the door is. But now we're in, like, the new part of the mansion, and it's a little overgrown, and we have to, whenever there's a room with these vines, we have to collect these green coins and bring those to, or when we collect all of them, that's when the vines will go away. So, thankfully we don't have to do a lot of this dungeon. This dungeon is very big. And we need usually 2 keys and a battery to gain access to the ending area of the game. But we can actually do something really funny. It's just that, okay, that platform took too long to spawn, but I already collected all the coins. Usually if you take damage, you need to collect the coins again if you haven't collected all of them. Since I already finished the challenge and lowered the vines, I didn't have to do it again. But yeah, no, the reason we need to go through part of this dungeon is because of this, like, portable laser. It melts these, like, dirt blocks, and we can, you know, get this portable one to get rid of any of the dirt we want. Usually, in a situation like this, we would get 2 keys and a battery from a prior dungeon because of how long this dungeon is. However, not only can I get a really quick key through a semi-unintended method, where I just, like, throw this bomb close enough to the wall and it hits the crumble block from the back. But there's another skip we can do to only need 1 key for this dungeon. So I'm going to use this 1 key, and then grab the laser and line myself up on a specific pixel. And even though throwable items are usually supposed to be on a grid, if I'm at the right position, I can break that. I'm a little bit too far to the right each time. There we go.
Nice, good work.
And we can head into the final boss area of the game. So we're going to have, like, a minute and a half where I accidentally trigger this alarm, and I have to stop the self-destruct sequence in time. So this is the final boss of this game is hard. So this is probably your last chance. If you have any announcements you want to read, you have like this minute or so.
Awesome, thank you so much. We did have a $25 donation from the Sonic Riders run that feels appropriate to read right now, except maybe a little bit more sinister than intended. We had $25 from Charlie Bluefin that just says, "I love plants," which in a dungeon where plants are the main obstacle, yeah, super villain, for sure.
Yeah. I do feel it's important to mention, speaking of plants, that the main energy source in this game that like are used to like gain a monopoly on energy is like this like rose that emits energy through its petals or something like that. So
that's like
plants,
the most hardcore thing I've ever heard.
Plants are actually like a little bit relevant, but not much. The fact that they're plants doesn't really come up, but it's just kind of cool. This game is really cool. I don't know if I've said that enough, but everyone should play it right now.
You never can, realistically. Also,
yeah.
I do want to say hi to all of the raiders that joined us a little bit ago. We are raising money for Trainer Nade. This is a quest for Quet. Trainer Nade's next service animal, Quetzalcoatl, needs some monetary support. And by that I mean Trainer Nade needs to be able to train them. So we're raising money for a good cause for a good friend of the community. If you want to donate, you're feeling ever so generous, you can type !donate and give some. We're currently working towards Laurie's very special incentive for her DK Jungle Beat run later on today. We need to get $1,500 for a glitch exhibition that'll happen after that run. We have about an hour and a half left to go on that, but plenty of time. We can still get there. Put your money towards it. Would be very appreciated.
Absolutely. So this is the final boss. Phase 1 is really easy, but the Phase 2 is what's hard. Pretty much the two cousins that we've been working with the game actually just wanted to like take control of the energy company in our aunt's place to get a lot of money. During our adventure, they manipulated the batteries so that the only parts of her soul that are active are the ones that hate us. So we have to fight that now. This fight is really tricky. You have to do damage in these segments where she's attacking with all the batteries, followed by these like platforming challenges, and I only have 2 health throughout all of this. These platforming challenges do always have at least 1 heart in each like stage, and there's also a lot of hearts that drop from like the batteries in these sections where you have to go deactivate all of them because they're shielding her, as well as like, okay, that bee moved onto me during the cutscene. That's awesome. I'm gonna play a little bit more carefully. But yeah, no, this fight is hard because of how long I have to go with not a lot of health. So I'm trying to stay focused here. I can grab this health. It's like almost a little bit of a relief to get these platforming challenges just because you know one of them will have like a heart on them. But this fight is definitely like a gauntlet, and it took a lot of time to like not lose runs to dying on it for like 5+ minutes. And sometimes I still do that. Which is why my estimate is so generous despite my PV being like sub 30.
Well, you're absolutely crushing it so far. Lock in.
Yeah, thankfully, this part of the fight I'm on right now, this second C shield section, after this is the final, like, platforming challenge screen, and after I finish this up, we get to the fight's midway checkpoint. So we are halfway through. I will restart from this point whenever I die, and, oh, that was money on the battery, not health. Okay, yay. Thanks. There is health on that edge battery. I want it. Yay. Thank you. Yeah, so at this point, there's a checkpoint and no more platforming. It's just trying to get her. So here, time is coming up. I just have to get rid of these shields, and because of your incentive, I'm going to hug her instead of beating her. So I'm gonna turn off the cutscene skip for this real quick. settings, gameplay, auto skip cutscenes off, and that is time. And that is current world record in this category.
Okay, well, we just saw a live world record. Congrats, Laurie.
Yeah, my PB going into this was 28:20, and time ends when you interact with Grandma, so that was 27:45.
Wow, that is incredible, amazing job. That run flew by. I feel like I blinked and I missed it, but excellent job. Congrats on your world record.
That's so good. Yeah, no, again, I made my estimate pretty high. Initially, I think after everything, the lowest it was gonna go was like 38, because I expected I could die on bosses like Lincoln or the final boss for like 5 minutes, but I didn't.
Just too good. Just too good.
Didn't.
That's the goat bunny thing.
Yeah. So yeah, 27:45 was the final time. Yay! But I do have one more thing to show off, because this incentive, is about being nice to your aunt. We just gave her the hug. But we do have one more thing, which we can make her dance, we can show off a glitch, and I can do something really funny. So I'm gonna load into a new file here, and it's going to get pretty goofy pretty quickly. I don't need this old world record file anymore. Ha. So this also acts as a good opportunity to show off the glitch that is usually banned in this category. Zipping uses the one ability that I pretty much never covered. The UFO throw is an ability that lets you... I can throw the yo-yo out and then hook onto it like this. And it's usually good because you can like hold an item on the yo-yo while it's doing this, or if there's just an open pit and you're not allowed to wall ride, this gets the job done. But the carrying items over pit is pretty good. But what I can do is I can go to the edge of a screen here and hook onto it while it's off screen, and yeah, look at me go. So that's zipping. That's the glitch that's banned in this category. And I think in New Game Plus, the current record with zips is like 17 minutes. So like even that record I set is 10 minutes slower than the run with zips. But what we can do is we can zip here, and this will take us to the battery machine. Unfortunately, I would love to like not skip this cutscene, but until I do, Pippet is going to be stuck moving behind this machine. However, even if I skip this cutscene, it does not skip this special gift you get for reaching the ending area without enough batteries.
That's awesome. They're emoting on you, heartbroken.
Yeah. And fun fact, because of the way that this game, so that gives you a death, like a game over, right? Because of the way this game handles respawns, because I entered the screen from the top and it insta started the cutscene, and I can't pause on this screen or during the cutscene, this file's soft locked now. I have to close the game to get out of this, so I guess. That's gore. I guess this is a good time to give my shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to the speedrun community of this game and the devs that have supported it. There are a lot of names in this community, and I'm not 100% sure who found what, so I'm just gonna keep saying names. The mods, Loosevik and Shinruns, other runners like Silver, Chibi Satan, Idea, July. That's everyone I can remember right now. It's a very small but dedicated community, just like built around how much we love this game. And yeah, that's the biggest shout out of all. On top of the devs, obviously, is thank you to all of my friends and just viewers in general who have been enjoying watching me play this game. Because again, this game isn't huge, but I'm so much in love with it, and I'm so glad that there are people who just like seeing me happy. This game is so much fun. You should play it right now. It's $20, and it is big. Like, I just skipped from dungeon to dungeon. This game is so big. My first playthrough to 100% the game was like 20 hours. You should absolutely get your money's worth with this game, and it's such a good time. And I can't chill it enough, so I'm gonna stop before I try. Thank you all so much for watching this run. If you want to see more of me, I will be playing Donkey Kong Jungle Beat in about 40 minutes after Neon White. So please stick around for that, and stick around for Neon White too. I've been playing that game recently, and it is so good, and Marissa's so good at it. So please watch that run, and then watch Jungle Beat after. And also just watch the rest of the event. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that though. Watch the rest of the event, donate. I haven't interacted too much with Anade, but they seem amazing. And I work in a dog daycare, so I know how like strenuous training is, and I also know how much people care about their dogs. So this is a great cause. All that being said, though, again, thank you so much for letting me show off this game. I'll see you soon for Jungle Beat. Everyone have a great rest of your afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Laurie. I'll say it, you know, we like seeing you happy. You just made me happy with that run. Fantastic work, and congrats again on your world record. Absolutely amazing. All right. And we are going to be getting set up for that Neon White run. God, I'm so excited for Neon White. You have no idea. If you're just joining us, this is Quest for Quet, a mutual aid event helping a good friend of the community, Trainer Anade, to train and raise their next service animal, Quetzalcoatl. Quet is a wonderful little puppy right now. I adore them. But we have a few incentives open right now that you can donate to right now. First and foremost, we have Donkey Kong Jungle Beat as a glitch exhibition that needs to get met by the end of that run. We only have Neon White and all of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat to get there, though, so we do not have too much time left. It is currently sitting at $1,295 out of the $1,500 that is necessary. We're 86% of the way there. Please try to donate if you can, if you're feeling generous. We would love to see that get met. I love Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. I have such a thing for gimmicky platformers like that. It is fantastic. If you're also feeling like a little bid war might be spicier for you, we also have an Octopath Traveler bid war open right now between English and Japanese. Quite a simple choice. English currently in the lead with $24, and Japanese not trailing too far behind, only at 15, so only 10 behind right now. Can definitely make up that difference. But personally, I'm a little bit more vested in the glitch exhibition, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, my beloved. Laurie just got an amazing world record in Pipistrello. That run was fantastic. And I'm sure she's going to absolutely crush Donkey Kong Jungle Beat later on today. Want to see more of it? See, we have a lot of Marissa fans in the chat. I am a huge Marissa fan as well. We'll get started with Neon White in no time at all. We'll see you soon.